Hello. This week I thought I'd talk about a badge I've seen out several times. Some of you may or may not seen it. I hope you all have. It is the CIB. This is the Combat Infantryman's Badge. Now, this is a very prestigious badge and is only given to infantrymen who serve a minimum of 30 days in a combat zone, usually on the front line, patrolling, and so on and so forth. This badge was originally designed around October 7th, around there, 1943. So just ahead of the D-Day invasions. But I've also seen records that it was predated for people who have served in infantry units back to December 6th, day before Pearl Harbor of 1941. This is because all the infantry guys in Corregidor and the Philippines and Pacific and all that were in a combat action. I thought it wasn't fair that they did the same thing, so it was predated that those guys that serve there can also earn and wear this same badge. Again, it goes under point systems, and it's a way of getting out at the end of World War II. Now, this was in effect the basic badge. There was no alterations to it until about 1952. What happened in 52? The Korean War. Now, this is only for, not each conflict or battle, for each war. So, first guys that ever got this was World War II. Then after World War II, people thought, hey, that was it. But what happened? A police action, who, that's not a war issue, came Korea. So guys that served in World War II and in Korea were then awarded a star above it. This means 2 wars they were in. And hopefully everybody thought, well, that was the end. Well, what happened come around 61, 62, and officially around 67, 68 was Vietnam. We had advisors and stuff in there earlier, and they were able to earn it. And those that were in World War II, Korea, and then Vietnam, 2 stars. And hopefully everybody thought that was the end of that. Now, a very rare one is the triple star. Now, I got some cloth insignias, and this is one cloth, and this is one of the current ones, so that tells you it's been around a while. And in some of the older ones, you can see right here, oops, sorry, backwards, is 3-star. What's unique about this one is, it was authorized because early, for those that were serving in Vietnam, they wore the white name tags, all the colored patches on that, and then they started figuring out, well, you could see this stuff in the jungle and all that, so they went with the subdued ones, and those are all currently authorized up until now. Here's one right here with 2 stars, and there's one with 1 star, and so on and so forth. But then everybody figured out that's it. There will never be nothing after 3. Well, then comes along the 80s and the 90s and even up to 2000, when we were in conflicts, battles, deployments, actions, and stuff like that. And I'm talking all the way from Grenada. Then we have Central America, which they say El Salvador, but it's actually Honduras and Nicaragua and all that. Then we went into Panama, there was Haiti, then there was Syria, and then we had Iraq and Afghanistan. So they went up to one that is gold. You can see that? Now this has a dual unique purpose. Gold means for the 5th conflict. And then They even go up higher than that. They started adding stars to them. And you can see, so you got 5, 6, 7, and 8. Very impressive. But I did notice back in, I'm going to say the early 2000s, maybe around 2010, the Army was coming up with an award that the Expert Infantryman badge, which is the same badge without the wreath, sometimes soldiers earn that and a CIB, but you can only wear one. So naturally, an infantry guy is going to go with the combat one over the Expert Infantryman badge. So they were designing this all gold one, which represent you earned both of them. But I've never seen records from the U.S. military heredity site, so on and so forth, that this ever took effect. So I do not know that. So the other unique thing about the infantryman's badge, and I'll show you here on the first award, is the musket is the design after the crossed rifles on the collar from the 1795 model Springfield Arsenal musket, one of the first muskets that the infantrymen wear. And this is on the CIB, the AIB, and even their crossed rifles they wear onto their lapels. The wreath on here, which represents as steadfastness, strength, and loyalty, means do your job, don't run, stay there and fight, do what's the purpose. And then the blue background is blue for the infantry, along with the blue disc on their collars and the infantryman's cord. Blue, every time you look up at a nice beautiful sky and it's blue, God put that up there to represent the infantry for what they did way back in biblical times. These badges do come in, like I just showed you, different cloth. So you can have the desert camouflage ones, and they look like this. A lot of them are black on tan. There is a version also that is the what's called the brown sugar, which is a brown on tan for those uniform. The basic green OD, and here's some EIBs here. So, and then the black badge for subdued. But the thing is, you pin these on your uniform. It's really a dress thing. Once they get hit and scuffed and all that, they start getting where they don't look presentable. So a lot of guys would sew them on. Sometimes you would only sew them on when you're in the show off. And it's something to show off for. To me, the infantryman is known as the Queen of Battle. To me, a lot of people say, well, you're going to go in the infantry, you're going to die, you're just a bullet catcher, don't be a stupid grunt or a dumb grunt or anything like that. Okay, I spent over 13 years in the infantry, and it was my first MOS. From the infantry, you can go to all the special op courses. You know, I mean, you can be in any MOS in airborne, but you're more likely to get it as a grunt, which I'm proud to say I am. Air assault and Pathfinder courses, and go into the SF and Ranger units and stuff like that. They always need a smart guy. And if you ever talk to guys in special ops, they're always highly educated. Because to me, the smartest person on the battlefield is an infantryman. Reason being is when you get to an infantryman, your MOS book, everyone has an MOS book, which teaches you all the tasks and stuff you're supposed to know for your job. An infantryman's MOS book is about 3 to 4 inches thick and covers every MOS. Now, a normal guy, say a tanker or a cavalryman or mechanics, cooks, and all that, they're only about that thick. But an infantryman is the one that's on the battlefield has to make a decision and figure stuff out. Like when you're moving forward and you come on a minefield, well, normally it's engineers. Call in the engineers, they come in there and take them out. Who's the first one that's got to find the mines? The infantrymen. So you take courses on that. Who comes up against tanks and artillery? The infantrymen. You got to figure out how to get them out before you can call in airstrikes and stuff like that. Medical, first one to treat your wounded, an infantryman, until you can get a medic up or get them evacuated out. Same thing with aviation, armor, anything you think of, MPs. It's always an infantryman doing the job first. Then you call up the others from the rear, and then they'll take over, or you'll pass it along. So today is, since it's second day of summer, the infantrymen. To me, the smartest ones on the battlefield. And always, if you see one of these, go up and shake their hand, because they have to go through a lot to get that. So that's a little bit today about the CIB, Combat Infantryman's Badge. And have a great day.